Hello and welcome. This is Cryptos Chain from Simple Cryptocurrency Reviews, and today I'd like to present to you another podcast. This is the third podcast that I've done on my channel, and I've got a special guest with me today. Another special guest, just like I did yesterday. This is another special guest, right? We're not going to talk about crypto trading. We're going to talk about centralized exchanges versus decentralized exchanges, and his name is Mark, and he's a blockchain specialist. Mark, welcome to my channel.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, man. So please tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. So crypto, I kind of got involved in that. Was it 2016 summer, late summer 2016? I'm not sure. I remember the price being around 300 US dollars. Actually, I heard about it through my work. We started dealing with that at work, and I just immediately fell in love with it and realized the potential it had. And I've just been pursuing that obsession ever since.
Wow, that's interesting, man. And when you first heard about Bitcoin, I mean, did you also hear about Ethereum back then, or was Ethereum not so popular?
I wasn't too. So Ethereum, I got a bunch of them. Let me think. Was it two or three of them? They just gave them to me when I got verified in an exchange.
Yeah.
Just for free, just for that. So I knew a little bit about Ether, but I wasn't buying into it. I had bought into Monero pretty early, but mostly I stuck with Bitcoin. I was a big Bitcoin guy.
What about mining? Were you into mining back then as well? Because I know it was much easier to mine compared to the way it is now.
I wasn't mining any of those coins. I actually do have some experience mining Komodo.
Wow.
Yeah, I was mining that on just a graphics card at home. It worked out pretty well because nobody was mining at that time, so I could actually get some Komodo and make some profits. It was pretty good.
Could you generate some Komodo per day if you left your PC running all day?
Oh yeah, I was making not a lot. I don't have a powerful graphics card. I was making maybe three to five Komodo a day.
Wow, that's interesting. What was the price back then? Do you remember?
Oh man, it was less than $1. It was like 60, 70 cents or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it'll basically pay off your electricity and maybe still make some profit back then, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't doing it for that. It was a hobby. I was just curious about the method, and especially with that coin, because the way it works is that they generate interest, and that's where most of the new coins come in. It was a great experience.
Interesting. So tell us a little bit about your job. I mean, you're a blockchain specialist. I mean, what exactly do you work with in terms of the blockchain side?
Okay. Yeah, so that's my title. It's a fancy title. I do a lot of different stuff. The company that I work for, they process payments.
Right.
But basically, every department that we have, marketing, from customer service, everyone touches on Bitcoin.
Right.
So I've had my hand in all of it, but I specialize in doing blockchain analytics.
Nice. Now, what language do you recommend for blockchain analytics?
Language, I'm using visualizer tools. Right. So I was using Blockseer a lot, OXT. I wasn't using programming, like writing my own.
Right. So it's more in terms of graphs, right?
Yeah, they're
tools that provide graphs.
Yeah, it's basically reading graphic. Yeah, that's a simple way to put it. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Now, I do gotta ask you, what is your favorite coin or token and why?
Well, I mean, okay, so I'll ignore Bitcoin because I think Bitcoin is king.
You will sound like a maximalist, you know that. Right?
I'm not. It's the best coin out right now. Right now, I'm super excited about Grin. I really like Mimblewimble. All the Schnorr signature, scriptless scripts. There's a lot of potential with that coin. The privacy aspects of it, the way it solves scalability. I think it's got a lot going for it. Wow. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah.
And it's a privacy coin as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The way it got started, like some guy just dropped a white paper in the Bitcoin chat room and then disappeared. So it kind of has a mysterious start, kind of like how Bitcoin did. With Grin, there's no ICO or anything like that. So yeah,
Wow.
it's exciting.
Wow. Interesting. Now, this is not actually on our agenda, but I'm just curious what your opinion is, as I'm sure you've also heard the news. What's your opinion about Initiative Q, and do you think it's a scam?
I don't have an opinion on that. It's probably a scam.
Would you
All
say
there's
BitConnect V 2.0?
Yeah, I think I've heard that from my colleague there, but I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
I'm really not interested at all, though.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's basically some guy, some company that wants to try and get a bunch of people's email addresses, and then they have to recommend other people as well, like up to 5 people, and just it's like a pyramid scheme. Only they don't ask you for money; they just want your email address. So I'm guessing at some point they may end up asking you for money. This is the way I see it, to be honest. But I could be wrong. People say it's the next big thing, but I don't know. They said that with BitConnect, and look what happened. And I mean, who was crazy enough to put their money into BitConnect? Nothing, no offense to those listening if they did invest, but come on, I mean, it was
hey,
a
look,
very clear sign,
people,
very clear sign.
yeah, people will invest in Ponzi's even though they know they're Ponzi's.
Exactly.
It's just a weird thing. With that one, maybe it's flirting the line, kind of like not I don't know, there was that herbal essence, or there's a few companies that kind of have marketing that works kind of like a pyramid scheme, but
Yeah,
it's just the marketing aspect of it. So maybe they're doing that. I really don't know.
yeah, yeah. Could be anything's possible. We'll have to see. Now,
Mm.
what is your opinion of blockchain in terms of the technology?
The technology, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it works really, really well as a ledger for cryptocurrencies. We haven't really seen too much applied outside of that realm. So I try not to get too excited about its possibilities because we don't really know yet. A lot of it's just hearsay. There's land registration, a lot of stuff like that makes sense, but it's
Right.
also confusing because some people will call it a blockchain, but it's not. It's just a database, really. So
Yeah, yeah, which has a lot of transactions. Now, and the other thing about the blockchain, what I've noticed is a lot of these companies, shitcoins as you call them, basically what they're doing is they're trying to instead of finding a problem to be able to use the blockchain, they're trying to use the blockchain to find the problem, if you know what I mean. It's like the other way around.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a hot word, like
Yeah, just open up a project and get some money, have a token sale, and
yeah, they just try to fit the word in and call it a blockchain. I don't know. I mean, even if it's only good for cryptocurrencies, that's still pretty amazing. So
yeah,
I can't say anything bad about that.
exactly, exactly. Now, why do you think a lot of people avoid investing in the crypto space at the moment?
Um, I think it's just super volatile, right? Like the price goes up and down like crazy. There's not a lot of regulations. Bitcoin had a bad reputation, back in 2015, 2014, and that stigma is kind of still there a little bit.
Yeah,
It's the other thing too is that it's a lot to take in. There's so much to learn with blockchain and Bitcoin and all
exactly.
that.
And also the security side of it, isn't it? I mean, people are still not sure how to secure their wallets and things like that, and they end up getting scammed. I mean, I'm part of a few Telegram groups, and I always see people getting scammed on over the counter. There's an over the counter group, and people get
Hmm.
scammed because you get all these guys that are private message them pretending to be an admin. Basically changing like say the admin has, I don't know, a letter O, and the scammer will probably have a zero instead of letter O. And if the person that's getting scammed isn't actually asking on the group chat, hey dude, did you contact me? And until the guy responds to be able to see the little symbol that says admin, when he replies, you won't actually know that it's him. So if you don't do that and you go ahead and you do the trade, then you're going to get scammed. It's as simple as that. And I
Yeah,
see people getting scammed at least once a week, to be honest. They have done a better job now, those guys that I'm checking out all the time, and they managed to clear out a lot of these scammers, and they posted a lot of pinned messages to warn people, look, make sure you ask on the group chat before you do a trade, just to confirm it's
Mm.
me. And yeah, that's pretty much how it is. So yeah. And
They
also
should.
not to mention the ledgers and all that, people having to set up a ledger, people having to update the firmware. This is the thing, with hardware wallets, for example, they're not like that technical to embrace this kind of change, to be honest. Not yet. That's the way I see it. So I think whoever comes up with some idea to make it as simple as possible and as secure as possible at the same time may actually make a lot of money.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that chat room needs to set up a few trusted people to do escrow.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
probably
they have. That's what actually they have. There's about 6 people that do escrow, but unfortunately, there's always that scammer that tries to take advantage. And unfortunately, some newbies, they usually get scammed. That's how it is. Now, finally, this is a really important question. What is your opinion about decentralized exchanges versus the centralized ones? Which do you prefer more and why?
Well, I mean, like right now, decentralized exchanges are in their infancy. They're not really working um, too well. There's not a lot of volume. They're kind of something that needs to be tested, and we'll see how that goes. I think it's the future of cryptocurrencies because with centralized exchanges, they're targets. They're anytime we try to have Bitcoin handled in a way that works like a bank or something like that, it never goes well. So definitely think decentralized exchanges have a lot of promise, but I haven't
Definitely.
seen anything that is basically going to change the way people transact right now.
Yeah, yeah. And the other problem that I see with DEXes is the liquidity. I mean, what do you have to say about that? Do you think that's also a problem? Because, I mean, a lot of traders, for example, they avoid going to decentralized exchanges because of that. And then security doesn't really matter anymore when you don't see that many traders, that much liquidity, right? Because the
Yeah, I mean,
price difference is quite big between.
there's another problem too that maybe you haven't considered is the quality of the coin that you have. Like if it's Bitcoin, you could receive a coin that was involved in WannaCry or something like that, and now you're suddenly linked to ransomware or something like that.
Yeah,
So when you're trading coins on there, I think BISC has a pretty good Monero market, given the way it is. But yeah, I mean, privacy coins
what is it
maybe.
called? Sorry, VISC?
Oh, BISC.
BISC,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. And
It's
what can you trade? Is it just Monero or can you trade Bitcoin and Ethereum and all those?
I think they've been slowly adding coins to it.
So it's
It's
cross-chain, basically.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not I don't think it's done through the blockchain specifically. I think they use escrow services and things like that. But the software that runs it is decentralized, so there's no central authority over it. Um,
Wow.
it's pretty cool stuff.
Wow. And what do you think about waves?
Waves, I like Waves. I think there's a lot of promise. They have a good mobile wallet. They have good interfaces.
And the
The
fiat
they
gateway as well, right?
Yeah, the Fiat Gateway. I haven't tried it myself, but
I
I
am
hear a lot of
actually
good things.
curious. I haven't tried it either. I'm actually curious if they ask for KYC when you try to deposit.
They probably do. I mean, if it's using banks and things like that, then they have to be somewhat compliant, right?
Right. Yeah, yeah. It makes sense.
Um,
I mean, yeah.
I know Komodo has barter decks too. That one's pretty exciting.
Hmm. And do they have fiat gateway as well, or?
They don't have a fiat gateway yet, but they have stable coins that work through the platform itself.
Nice.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the important things about the DEXs. For example, I normally go on Switcho or Affiliate. These are the
mm,
two DEXs that I go on because on my channel I cover a lot of neo blockchain related news and reviews. And with Switcho at the moment there are no stable coins, so you're pretty much stuck to take a hit if you do wait for a trade. I don't know, 1 or 2 days and play that long shot. You could take a hit, and the worst, and there's no stop loss either. So it sucks at the moment. Let's just put it this way. I love the exchange, but it just sucks at the moment until they add a stable coin. I think when they do that and maybe add some stop loss functionality, it's definitely going to improve some things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
And it's
we
going to
talked about
attract
that.
people. It's as simple as that. If you want to attract people, you need to have a stable coin and you need to have a stop loss functionality because people don't want to lose more than, I don't know, 5 or 6%. They want to have that stop loss to minimize their losses in case the market crashes.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is when these things they have payment gateways, they're still regulated by banks, right? So you're not really circumventing too much of the by going decentralized in that way. So the onboarding is a real problem.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And what do you think about Binance wanting to launch their DEX in 2019? Do you think that's going to be a big game changer when it comes to DEXes and I don't know, cause people to learn more about them and kind of force that learning curve towards the
I don't know.
crypto community?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching that too, reading the news and stuff. I'm really interested to see what they come up with. I mean, I like their Binance exchange. I don't know if their decentralized one is just a way to pump their coin. I'd have to really look into it further.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, let's see what happens in 2019, A few months left and we should hear some news from them. We'll probably hear it sooner, I guess. Like a Christmas present or something. Latest news from
Yeah,
Binance.
yeah. Hopefully, everyone's just saving all the
Yeah.
news for December, so we go on a bull run.
And also in terms of security, I've noticed that Binance are very, very secure. Apparently, they've been getting some attacks, but nobody's actually managed to hack them yet. So I think that they can afford to pay really good cybersecurity engineers or analysts, whatever you call them, experts, because they do charge $6 million to list a coin or a token. Not to mention that they have to review it quite deeply. They're not just going to list anything. There are coins that were willing to pay the 6 million, but they just didn't match up to their how can I say, up to their expectation.
Their
So
standards,
to their
yeah.
standards, and because of that, they got rejected, or they're still on the waiting list, and 6 million is a lot. They started, I think, with 2 million quite a few months ago, but yeah, it's just a lot of money. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
So
and we don't know really what's going on. There's maybe kickbacks, there's favoritism.
there may
I'm
be,
sure all that stuff. Yeah, I
there
mean,
may
these
be
guys they have so much power, right? They have so much money, like they
exactly.
can do whatever they want.
Look at Coinbase as well. I mean, why didn't they list a lot more coins? They could have, but they didn't.
They will.
They
They
will, I know, but I mean till now, like
a
they've
lot.
waited so long, and look at all those other exchanges that appeared, while Coinbase were still on the three coins, for quite some time until like a few months back when they listed Ethereum Classic and now 0x. So yeah,
Yeah, I think
it's
what did Zcash get announced too? I think they're doing
yes,
Zcash as well.
and I
Yeah.
think Cardano as well, because that was
Yeah.
also on the list. I believe Monero, but I can't remember exactly. I think it
Ooh,
was
I would
just
be
Zcash. No, I
surprised.
think it's Zcash and Cardano. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because Zcash is transparent. They have transparent addresses. Monero is just pure privacy.
Exactly. Mm. Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for today. I want to thank you very much for coming to my podcast and for talking to me and to my viewers, people that are interested to find out more about the space. And finally, do you have any recommendations for the people watching when it comes to investing in the crypto space? Just before we end this stream.
Yeah, I mean, just be smart with your money. There's a lot of hype and a lot of craziness going on, but that's not going to last forever. People are going to lose a lot of money investing in stupid stuff. So just look at fundamentals and be smart about it.
Great. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Great. Cool. Thank you very much, Mark. I really appreciate coming, and I hope I'll see you in one of my future podcasts.
It's
Have
been
a
a pleasure.
have a lovely day. Bye.
Take care, man.